I've been wanting to design posters for my office for ages, but somehow I never got around to it. Until now. Today, I'm finally gonna replace those generic posters with my own art. I'm also gonna share a few design tips and tricks along the way, so let's get started. Jumping straight into kittl and let's select the new artboard. For the poster designs, I like to use 3840 by 4800 pixels. The first step, I'm gonna do some margin lines. I'm gonna set the 100 pixels margin all around, and I'm gonna remove the grid view. Next, I'm gonna pull the grid lines to create the two-column grid. So the first one I want in 1200 and the second one 1300. And the second two columns I'm gonna use 2500 and 2600. Next I'm gonna get the type tool out, and the typeface I will be using is called Ink Modern. So let's stretch it out a bit, and for the words I'm thinking design. Let's align it to the top, and then I'm gonna stretch it to almost hit the second column. A little bit more to the edges. And this part of the text I'm gonna align to the bottom right corner. For the middle part I'm gonna draw a very simple illustration. So I'm gonna move to the right side and select the pen tool. First I'm gonna try to imitate the laptop. I usually first draw some lines and then just adjust the corners to feel more smooth. Sometimes I like to draw them first on a piece of paper and then just outline based on what I already have. But with this one I think it's quite simple that I should be able to pull it off without drawing. Let's see, probably a bit too far. So now the shape kinda look like dog head, so maybe let's carry on with that. Okay, I think that's okay. It's just the proportion between the laptop and then those elements are a bit wrong, so maybe let's try to make them slightly bit smaller. Okay, I think that should be better because my hand is not that big on the laptop. Perfect. Let me add a little bit more details to the dog and make sure the stroke it's matching. Okay, now I'm gonna select the rectangle tool and we're gonna draw it more or less in the middle between the both texts we have. I'm thinking something blue this time. Let's try with this one first. We're gonna group and I'm gonna paste the illustration on top of that rectangle. The next bit I'm gonna add a bit of color. First I'm gonna add the border, black border to that rectangle and make sure it's hitting our grid lines. Let's make the border slightly bit bigger. Let's try with 10. Then that blue, I'm gonna go for something lighter. With the laptop, probably green. Then the hand, we're gonna do yellow. The previous yellow was fine. And now I'm afraid I have to outline the dog again. So let's start again. I'm gonna select the pen tool. Let's go with white color straight away so I can see what's going on. Okay, let's go till edge. Right, in the layers panel now I'm gonna move that path below. Which one is ours? That one. To be inside the group and below above rectangle. Perfect. So now we have a couple of duplicated. That one I'm gonna keep it, that one I'm gonna keep it. I think that was it. Make sure it's aligning. I'm gonna fix the dog hair now because they look a bit messy. Maybe even less. Okay, illustration is done, at least for now. Let's add other elements. I'm thinking to add a bit of text here and here maybe slight graphic elements. Let's see how it's gonna lay. So I'm gonna select the type tool again, adjust our headline to the left corner and paragraph below. Replace with the text I prepared before. And for the font, I actually really like the Neuhaus Grotesques. That's like my go-to font for posters and like readable designs, so I'm gonna go ahead with that one. And I'm gonna use exactly the same one for the title, but we're gonna make it capitalized, uppercase, and maybe just leave it like so, adjust to the bottom. I'm just gonna try if it's better if it's full width. Let's see. Okay, almost there. I think now that's good. For the top right corner, adding text is gonna be, in my opinion, again heavy, so we're gonna try to find some nice graphic elements if they match. I'm gonna go to Elements tab and search for all elements. Do we have like a nice black and white star? Let's see. Oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. Perfect. The last but not least is of course adding textures. So let's go to the Texture tab and see the paper textures. Yes. The last part I like to do is to browse the color palettes. So we have them on the right hand side. We can check how our design would look in different colors. I feel like the final step would be to add in a slightly bit more texture. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna release that texture. That was the color burn. Same on this one. Okay, so we've been happy with that one. And now let's try adding one more texture on top. Okay, so I'm gonna use that one. I think I like both, but I'm more into the lighter version. Let me know down in the comments which version you prefer. Final step is to see it as a mockup. So with kittl it's quite simple. We select our poster and simply click the mockup. On here we can select which mockup we would like to choose. I'm really curious how this will look as a t-shirt, so let's select our mockup and then place it wherever we want. And that's it for today. Now it's time for me to replace those posters with the poster we just designed. And if you wanna try designing in kittl, link in the description. There is free version which I used today. As you can see, you can design everything with the free version as well. See you next time!